Hi guys. Sorry, I'm moving myself around here, but I'm trying to find the best spot for me to be. Okay, so we are going to play a game to practice some of our multiplication skills and area. So first things first, you're going to want 2 dice from your bag. Now you can choose if you want to do numbers 1 through 6. You can choose your dice that are 1 through 6. If you want to do numbers 0 through 9, you can pick the dice that look like this. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do 1 through 6 just for the example of how to play this game, but it's pretty self-explanatory from the slide. This is one from Mrs. Fulfer. You're going to pick somebody to play with, and if you have no one to play with, you can use 2 colors just to practice your facts and maybe guess which color is going to win. So you're going to have 2 different colored markers or colored pencils, crayons, doesn't really matter which ones you use. You're going to roll the dice. You're going to find the area. And by the end, the one who can have the most paper covered, okay, wins. And you can count up the squares. You can use what you've multiplied and add them together for yours to see who wins. But I'm going to do an example one. Here's some graph paper. Now you have graph paper that looks like this in your packet. Otherwise, on that slide, you can print it out. The other thing you can do is I just put in a table into my doc right now. And I put this table in with nothing in it. And I'm just going to fill it in right on the computer and shade it with different colors. So you'll see what I'll be doing with that. So I'm going to, in order to fill in the colors, I need to make this smaller so I can make changes to it. Otherwise, it just does it on the presentation mode. So I'm going to roll my dice initially. I got a 2 and a 6. So 2 times 6 is 12. So let's find the area of 2 times 6. 5, 6. And I'm going to fill that, oops, I'm sorry, over here, the fill cup, can you see that? With yellow. Okay. And I can put in a text box over that, and it can say 2 times 6 equals 12. And just like that. Or you can write it in. So then somebody else rolls. They are getting 4 times 6. So they can go start anywhere they want on here. It doesn't matter where. I'm going to go right here. And I have 4 times 6. And I'm going to put that as a different color. So there you go. Insert a text box if you choose to do it on the computer. And I'll show you how to put this into any document too. So 4 times 6 equals, oops, sorry, equals, I put the plus sign up here, 24. Sorry guys, the wrong thing. All right, so then the first person goes. 3 times 3, well, let's see. I'm going to do it off of theirs. 3 times 3, and that's going to be a yellow one. And they can use it at the text box. And 3 times 3 equals 9. Oh, this will fit. Now, eventually it's going to get hard to fill in what you roll. That means if you don't have enough squares that are all together, that are white right now, to fill in, you miss your turn. Or if you're using the dice that have 0 through 9 and you roll a 0 and you 0 times anything is 0, obviously you lose that turn. You can't fill something in then. Now, how did I get this? I'm going to insert a new slide. So you can do a slide, you can do a Google Doc. It doesn't really matter. Either of those things work. So if you wanted to do it on the computer, you insert and you're going to go down to table and you can just make it as big as you like. Click it. Now I can add rows if I want to this, or I could spread it out to fit the whole thing. So if I want to add rows to this, I'm going to right click and I insert a row below, insert a row below until it fills up whatever paper you have. And then I can do the same thing to the right. So these are computer skills as well as math skills. Right click, insert row to the right, insert row to the right. Now it's just making them a little smaller so I can expand this some. And I'm gonna maybe make it a smidge smaller and I can insert one more row maybe. You can put as many as you want depending how little or big you want it to be. Okay, so click and drag it. There we go. It's a whole new one that I could start a new game with somebody else. So have fun. Try to fill up the whole grid. Just start a new doc in a Google Slides or Docs. Either one's works. It doesn't really matter which one you use. If you want to do it in the docs like this, if you choose to use paper and do it that way, just take a picture, load it into a doc, and then share that with me to show me that you did it, and make sure you're writing your equations inside. So if my green person goes, they get a 1 times 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. So here we go. That's going to be green. Now it's probably smart to try to keep things close together so you have more room later. I'm going to put in this text box. Go this way. So 1 times 2 equals 2. This one. If I make it thinner, it just makes it smaller. So obviously it doesn't fit in the full one on that one, but you get the point. So have fun with this. Practice your multiplication facts. At least try to fill up one whole page. Share that with me, whether you put it into a doc, a Google slide, or you do it on the paper and take a picture of it. See if you can get somebody from the house to play. Play more than one game would be great, but one game would be fine too. I just want you to practice your facts. If you are trying to challenge yourself, do the 0 through 9 dice. That's a lot of good practice for that. All right. Have fun. I'll talk to you later.